How can you invest and make money in today's real estate market? Welcome to the Successful Investor Show, where we talk with successful real estate investors, business owners, and busy professionals on their journey to wealth. They share their best ways and advice to make massive gains in today's market. Make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an episode. Now, here is your host, Doron Nissim.
Welcome everyone to the Successful Investor Show, where we talk about how to passively invest in real estate and create passive income and generational wealth without doing all the work. I'm your host, Doron Nissim, and today I have the pleasure of having our guest, David Dweck. David has been investing in real estate for the past 20 years, probably more. He's in South Florida, one of the most recognizable people in the real estate. His company, Private Equity Funding, specializes in private loans for real estate investors. He has bought and sold, renovated more than 2,500 homes. Let's welcome David Dweck. Hi, David. How you doing, brother?
Thank you. Good to see you, Achi.
Good to see you.
And just for the record, let me just clarify a few things. So I've been investing for over 30 years. I have my real estate license for 30 years, and I started Brick 29 years ago.
Wow.
And I started lending money 22 years ago. In 2000 is when I started lending. Almost 23 years I started to do private lending. So it's been a great run. I love what I do. And
wow.
I'm now close to 3,000 transactions altogether.
Wow. So
you've been great run.
You've been through like 3 cycles now.
Well, it's interesting, Doron, is, listen, you and your wife, you're still very young. And, when you're 20-something like you guys, you haven't necessarily been through a cycle. But what's interesting now is we're going to see all the amateurs and real estate hobbyists go, bye-bye, shalom. And because they haven't been through the cycle, they've been through easy money. And now it's when we dig in. There'll be, unfortunately, there's some pain in the market. But if you know how to navigate it, that can mean opportunity.
So you think that the people that came into the space 2, 3, 4 years ago have been making lots of money and talking about it all over?
The last 10 years, this is the longest period in history where we had this kind of a run-up. We really had a 12-year growth period. Starting in 2010 all the way through now, it's been up. And in South Florida, crazy. So
insane.
People who are, 30-somethings and young 40-somethings who are in the business for, let's say, 10 years have not experienced a cycle. Well, they're about to. Right. Everybody thought, Doron, that, when COVID started, the sky is going to fall. I was buying so much 3 years ago.
Yeah.
People were retracting and retreating, and the fear sets in. Boom, that's when we hit.
It was a great time, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, also the beginning of the cycle was a great time. Now everybody's waiting for that to come back. I don't think it's going to come back to that, but let's see.
Historically, it's interesting. I've spoken to a few REO agents. Most REO agents are out of business.
Right.
They're not going to have the business that they had. And, people were saying last year, third quarter. Well, third quarter, we started seeing some pain, but we didn't see a lot of REOs. Now, this year, we're going to start to see the REOs for sure, but they will be absorbed very quickly down here, very quickly.
Yeah, Florida is a different market, L'chaim. A different animal.
Yes, it is.
So in your whole 39 years or your whole career, when was the moment that you said, this is what I want to do, I love this, I want to keep doing that, and what made you?
Well, you see behind me, the Statue of Liberty,
that
represents freedom. And real estate has given me the freedom. So I like to travel. I like to do things and life experiences. I like people. I like making deals. So to me, real estate is not a job. It's a way of life. And it's created for me the freedom to do what I want when I want. And that's what I wanted. And in 1994, I sat in a class with one of my mentors and I wrote down some big goals that I wanted to hit by the time I was 60. So now
Wow.
I'm 60 and I hit that main goal, which was
Wow.
very important to me. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Forget resolutions. People, if you're on this, we're sharing information. Screw your resolutions. Resolutions are BS. Goals
Goals.
are
Exactly.
what you need to have. And
Right.
write them down and make sure they're smart. They have to be attainable. They have to be realistic. And you have to have timelines and deadlines. I like competition, it's in my blood. I compete with myself. I don't have to-do lists. Why? Because to-do is negative. I don't want negativity. I have action lists. Let's get the action work done. Let's get it done. So that's what I like to do.
I love it. Action is better than to-do list. I love that thing. And actually, talking about goals, I have it on my wall so I can look at it all day.
Good. And by the way, I have monthly goals that I like to achieve. And when I win, the people that I work with win because they get bonused based on our achievement.
I love it.
So we all compete together to make things happen.
Yeah, exactly. And
by the way,
yes,
for all the people that are out there in fear, last year in 2022, my best quarter was the fourth quarter. Imagine.
Wow.
So
that's interesting because most people had a down cycle in the last quarter.
That's correct. So tune out all the noise.
You must be doing something right if you've been doing it for so long and through so many cycles and still doing better than everybody else. So,
well, let me tell you what I learned, Doron. It's a very important lesson. I learned something from the Great Recession. More than likely, we will never, ever, ever see that kind of pain in our lifetime. At least I hope we won't.
Mm-hmm.
But that taught me a very valuable lesson. And it could have been much worse, much, much worse for me. But I vowed never to ever let that happen again. And I vowed when I was in English, I don't want to use any crude language, but I was really struggling. And I said, no, I'm not going to hang it up. I thought maybe, do I give it up? No. I stuck with it. And I vowed to come back stronger and bigger than ever.
Wow.
And that was my commitment to myself. And I did it. And so can you.
Amazing.
Listen, we all have adversity. We all have things that happen in our lives. That's life.
Right.
And you got to pick yourself up and, get through it, push through it. And anybody and everybody can be successful. I just helped a guy who was a waiter at the Capitol Grill. He was one of my waiters. And he knew about me. And I said, look, you find a deal, I'll fund your deal. Well, the manager of the Boca Raton Capitol Grill came up to me and he said, it's your fault. I said, what do you mean it's my fault? Well, Jason quit. He went into real estate investing full time. And now he just started. I pushed him to start the African American Real Estate Investors Association.
I love it. Wow. That's amazing.
So, yeah. And listen, you and I have helped many people along the way. And that's,
right.
Our mutual friend, Jim Van Dyke. I've done hundreds and hundreds of deals with Jim. Hundreds.
Yeah. I love it. I'm going to bring you on the show.
Yeah. And these are the kind of relationships that I love. You and I have known each other for a long time. Right. One day, Sharani will invite me over for Shabbat dinner. It'll be great.
Will do, of course.
So it's the relationships. We're in a relationship business.
Exactly. Yeah. So, talking about recession and Great Recession, I don't say Great Recession because nothing was great about it.
There was nothing great about it. Right.
Let's ask you, what was your worst deal that you did until now? What was the worst one?
I'll tell you one thing. In all the deals that I did, I only walked away from one deposit. And this is on the way to the Great Recession. This was in about 2006, 2007, maybe 2008. And I walked away from a $10,000 deposit because I would have rather have lost that $10,000, and that hurt. It really hurt. Then close on a deal and lose a lot more money.
Right.
But recently I learned something, and this is something that I've taught it for some time, but I'm also going to no longer do what I'm about to tell you. When it comes to a major rehab, then I no longer want to do that. I've been there,
Okay.
done that. The cost of doing it has tripled from 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Tripled in labor, in material costs, and it can really eat into your profit. So I recently did a buy, fix, sell, and we went over budget, and it took much longer, and it was much more complicated. And I said, you know what? That's it. I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
The cosmetics are much easier in this economy and environment, especially an environment that may be going down, unless unless you have a lot of capital that you want to deploy. I would tell you, be careful. If an estimate on a rehab was $50,000 or $60,000, add 30%. That could cost you $80,000, $90,000, or even $100,000.
Yeah.
That amount can eat your profit in a minute.
Exactly.
So remember, we're in business to make money, and don't fall in love with the house. Fall in love with the numbers or the property, whatever it is. The numbers have to make sense, whether it's single family, multifamily, condo. Let me tell you about condos. This is one of the other bad deals. And I'll tell you what I love about real estate when we invest in, let's say, single family, multifamily, office, warehouse, that kind of thing. You are in control. I invested in a condo in Pompano on A1A. We were going for our final permit. The code officer was coming to give us the final, and they shut the building down for COVID. And they wouldn't let the city in. And I begged them. I said, please, just let him in. All he's got to do is inspect so we can then put it on the market. Nope. The building got shut down for 90 days. That's 90 days of about $1,000 a month in carrying costs before I paid a hard money mortgage. That 90 days took away so much. In fact, it took away most of the profit.
Wow.
So when you invest in condos now, especially in South Florida, with rising taxes, rising insurance rates, and you're paying, let's say you're paying $400 or $500 a month for your condo association fees. What are you getting for that? Nothing. Those fees used to be half that. So they're going to quickly eat into your profits. So I'd advise you just be very careful when you're investing in condos.
Yeah. Yeah. Another problem they have in South Florida, because of the building that collapsed, they change a lot of rules and codes.
Correct.
So
and there's going to be a lot of assessments.
Exactly.
And I think we'll see the condo market. It's already happening in Miami. My friend Peter Zalewski has been reporting on it from Condo Vultures. The condo market in Miami is going down.
Yeah. So
not all of it.
There could be some good opportunities, but you have to be careful when you find something.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Miami mine.
All right. So my next question is what's your best deal that you did until today? The one that you love it.
There have been a lot of good deals. One of the best deals was I was sitting at lunch, I remember, on the ocean with Jim Van Dyke and Kevin Thatcher. And I said, I may have to take a call. This is, 10 years ago, whenever it was. So we won a bid at the courthouse for, I think it was 6 or 8 townhomes in Plantation. And I had the buyer ready to go. This is one of the first deals that come to mind. So when we got the deal at the courthouse, I called my buyer, and I think I made from one phone call, I think it was $25,000, just from the phone call.
Yeah.
Just from a quick wholesale deal. And then what is better is that he renovated, I think it was four townhomes. He renovated all of them, sold, I think, 2 of them, and had 2 free and clear for his portfolio. That's how good that deal was.
Wow.
And by the way, the days of the greedy wholesaler, all those young punks who think they can sit on their ass and make money and be greedy and make $40, $50, $60, $70, $80,000 on a wholesale deal, bye. You're going out of business.
Yeah.
All the money you spent on social media, advertising, 30, 40 grand a month, bye.
Mm-hmm.
So now, again, we're going to see those guys go bye-bye.
Exactly. It's going to be tough.
Yep.
Wow. Those days in the courthouse were great. I remember I was buying properties for nothing.
Yeah. So what happened is, it's interesting how things change. I remember, back when I was I was doing it, I knew people at every single, in Miami auction where most of the people were talking Spanish, in Broward, where my friend Earl Lawrence is still, the best guy out there doing it and still buying today. And in Palm Beach County, before like my friend Marshall Sklar is buying in Palm Beach, there are other guys. I used to go and know all the guys up there. It was a little racket. And, once it went online, just like the tax sales went online, the tax deed sales, it opened it up to the world. So the competition got much, much greater. So you have to learn how to go with change and find new ways to make money.
Right. You have to innovate. And then
yes.
they say you have to innovate and you have to market. You have to know how to market yourself. So
yeah,
those are two
and I was
things
just
that you always.
To a friend today that my friend Bill Green, who's a great entrepreneur, he sold his first company to Home Depot and retired in his 40s.
Wow. And
his whole model was, don't reinvent the wheel, make a better wheel.
Exactly.
And that's true. What can you do to be better than the next guy? So what do? I do the best that I can, but I want to give the very best service, whether it's to my borrowers, to my lenders, to the people I'm brokering real estate to my tenants even. I'm a firm but fair landlord.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're very firm. And I love your ways.
Yeah. You gotta,
Yes.
I have my standards, I have my policies and procedures. And Daron, if I violate my policies and procedures, I'm hurting myself.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, if you don't run your business like a business, it'll run you and it'll run you out of business. So the charity work I do is charity work and the business I do is business.
Exactly.
And, I have charity cases. I just sold a house and I didn't realize my tenant's been with me for 10 years or 11 years. And she's paying way under market rent. She's a single mom. I had compassion for her. And, she has nobody other than her mom and her 2 kids. I'm trying to find her a place. It's tough. I'm always priced below market, and I always keep my tenants because I'm priced below market.
Yeah. These days, if they pay lower than the market, they have to go out of the area completely, maybe even out of Florida.
Well, certainly out of Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach. They're not going to find anything in the Tri-County. By the way, do you know there's not a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Palm Beach County under $2,000? Doesn't exist.
Wow. Crazy.
It just doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So,
the market, the rental went up so much and people are struggling, but also landlords are struggling. All right, so let's move to the next question that I have for you. In this coming recession that everybody's talking about, what are the things that you do in your business to mitigate the risks?
Cash is king and queen. Always have access to cash. The most important thing is don't overpay when you're buying. And whether it's for rent or to flip it, you can't overpay. Now's the time if you're in a cash position, then you can be picky and you can wait for the right deal because you never know when that right deal is going to come along.
Yeah.
So
you have to stick to the numbers, and cash flow is king, they always say.
And queen. We have to include ladies.
And include the queen.
Yes.
Love it. All right. Now we're going to move to the success questions that are going to help our viewers to be more successful in this business. So do you have any kind of success habits? What are your 3 best success habits that you use or do every day?
So I'm going to give it to you. I didn't even think about it, but I have 3, and you're going to like them. In no particular order. Honesty, consistency, and persistency. So I'm going to give you the very first Dweckisms of our time today. I have many, many Dweckisms. And one of them is pleasant persistence wears down resistance.
Wow.
Pleasant persistence wears down resistance. Now, if I'm going to be an asshole, you're not going to want to do business with me. But if I'm nice, more than likely, we're going to do some business.
Right.
It may not be today. It may be tomorrow. But I'll get you with the honey instead of with the vinegar.
I love it. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And listen, I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm doing something, I'm doing it.
I know.
So
nice. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. Well, I remember that deal that you said that you're gonna do, and it was so complicated between me and the buyer. But you said I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
I remember.
And we got it done.
Yes, exactly. So stick to your words. That's good.
Yes.
The next question: what's a good resource that you use in your business, like a website or something that you use on a daily basis?
So I'm going to tell you a resource that is very recent, and it's something that you probably never heard of. And for your listeners, if you want to get the information on it, there's qualifying. You have to qualify to get the service. I qualify because I'm a realtor, I'm a landlord, and I'm a lender. So that qualifies me to use the service called Forewarn, Forewarn.
Okay.
Before I'm doing business with anybody, especially tenants, borrowers, I'm running them through Forewarn.
Wow.
And it gives me a profile of them. So when I underwrite a loan, I want to see who I'm dealing with. I want to see their credit. I don't have a lot of paperwork, but I want to see credit, that they have money in the bank, and that they're a good human being. Because, as I've said, South Florida is a sunny place for shady characters. You got to know who you're doing business with. So yesterday I got a loan submission and I ran his Forewarn and I just stopped it right there. I'm not going to loan money to somebody with a felony, third-degree felony.
Yeah, it's amazing because there are other websites that do background checks and things like that, but a website that can give you a whole
in 1
picture.
minute. 1 minute's time. Yeah.
People that
So
you
I
want to do
recommend
business with, partners, you don't know the person. You can run the search and get a whole picture. It's a really good resource.
You just mentioned something that's very, very important. Partners. For instance, you and Sharani, your life partners, your business partners, it's great. You're very lucky because you get to partner. It's very rare that a life partner, your wife can work with you in business and you guys make it happen. But any partnership, especially, you don't want to have a long-term partner until you really do a dance with that partner. So I like to say partners are meant for dancing. Do a dance. You like the dance. Do another dance. And then if you want to really cement it, but make sure it's equitable, that both partners bring something to the table and make sure it is in writing. So whatever partnership you're going to do, who does what, make sure that's in writing. Very, very important.
Very important in partners. Yes. Yes. In the beginning, everybody's happy. Yes, we're going to do business together. And then something happens and it's like crazy. All right. So the next question is, what are your 3 tips for making money today in real estate?
Answer that in a broad way. First of all, passive income is the most important thing for you long term. So you must have some form of passive income because there is nothing like mailbox money.
Right.
So that's number 1. You have to find a source of passive income. Number 2, something that's going to give you cash flow, because cash flow is the lifeblood of your business. So whether you're a realtor and you're making deals like that, whether you're an investor flipping homes, so you have to have cash flow.
Right.
Number 3, find something that you're going to love to do and then do it and you'll make money. If you do what you love and do it really well, you will make money.
Love it. So those are the 3 things.
Those are the 3 things.
I love it. Passive income, cash flow, do something that you love, and you're going to make a lot of money.
My friend, this is the way I live my life. My friend David Dweck wrote a book called The 3 Promises. And the 3 Promises is very simple, and I live by it every day. Find joy every day, do what you love, make a difference. How do I make a difference? Yesterday, I go to my Rotary meeting, and I really enjoyed that. I go once a week. And just by accident, a deal fell into my lap. So I'm going down to Fort Lauderdale. As soon as we leave this call today, I'm going down to Fort Lauderdale to inspect a fourplex that the other lender dropped the ball, and it's got to close next week. And listen to these numbers. It's worth 1.9. He's buying it for 1.2, and I'm funding 700,000.
Oh,
sounds like a deal, right?
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, that fell into my lap yesterday. Just from doing a good deed and going to Rotary. I never expect to do business at Rotary. If it happens, it's a bonus.
Love it.
So, and you got to, be charitable. Be in your community, whether you go to synagogue, church, you go to do community work. I volunteer at, JARC, Boca Helping Hands, Caring House Project Foundation, whatever. I enjoy that and enjoy helping others. And for that, it just opens up many, many doors.
Yeah, definitely. Giving back is, first of all, it gives you a good feeling that you do something for other people, not just for yourself. And then, then you have other things that can come back at you.
Do me a favor, make sure you do everything on Shirani's honey-do list, okay?
I'm trying. So the last question of the day that I have for you is, for people that have full-time job, but they love real estate, always hear about it. They want to get into real estate, but they have no time. What can they do to get into the real estate or make money from real estate?
My suggestion is start by learning neighborhoods, near where you live. Now, at this time, it could be tough to find a deal, but the deals are out there. It used to say, 250 people. Now with social media, you can know thousands and thousands of people. Tell everybody what you do. Tell everybody you're, looking to buy, to invest in real estate.
Right.
Tell people that you have cash, because that's me. I'm your money guy. So whatever it takes, I'll be that money guy on investment property. No problem at all. If the deal makes sense, I want to do it.
Right. And you do
Rob Noel, do you know him?
I think so. Yes, of course.
So on his first deal, he was a realtor. Kevin Thatcher sent him to me, and I looked at his first deal, and I said, all right, I'll see you at closing. And he kind of had that look like, it's that easy? It's so easy? And look, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, but I believe that you can do this. You put your heart and your mind to it, and you can be unstoppable. Remember that word. Unstoppable, because if you think that you are, then you are. And I want to teach you something else. Act as if you have that $1 million in your bank account. Act as if you have experience. So by the way, if somebody asks you a question that you don't know the answer to, what do? You say, well, let me ask my partner. My partner may be Doron, it may be whoever, it may be me. Let me find out from my partner. This way you don't look like an idiot.
Right.
I'll ask my partner and I'll get back to you. Easy.
Right.
Have no fear. Fear is a terrible 4-letter word.
Yes, exactly. So no fear, go at it. And if you don't know the answer, say, ask my partner. I love it.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll just tell you, when people see this, they should look at, look us up, for the Boca Real Estate Investment Club.
Yes, exactly. If people wants to find you, they want to do business with you, because we're all about making connections. How can they find you, David?
So what I'm going to do, Doron, if people are here, the first 3 people to call my office, 561-391-REAL, 561-391-REAL, are going to come to the next BRIC meeting as your and my guests. Only 3 people. They'll be free. And if they want to borrow money, 954-500-LOAN. 954-500-LOAN. GetPrivateEquityFunding.com is the website. BocaRealEstateClub.com is the website for the club. And I'd love to, see if you have a deal, I can fund it.
Do you do also deals outside of Florida or only in Florida?
My wheelhouse is really the Keys through Vero Beach. Because more and more I'm doing loans up north in Okeechobee, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, Vero. And, some people are getting some really good buys up there.
Right.
And look, the Keys, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, what's going on here. It's crazy. But there's still deals. Listen, in reality, people still die. People get divorced. Whatever the situation is, there's always going to be some level of distress in the market.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is to find where that pain is and solve the problem. And ease the pain.
Yeah, solving the problem makes it an opportunity. So that's what we always look in real estate, the opportunities. Where is the next opportunity?
You have the experience, I have the experience. So if there's deals that have a lot of hair, we know how to figure them out.
Exactly.
So
that was great. Thank you so much for your time and amazing advice. It was amazing. And I'm sure people will reach out to you to do business with you.
Thank you, Doron. As they say in Italian.
We'll do, and we'll be in touch.
You got it. All right. Thanks again.
Go make some deals. All right.
I'm going right now. I'm going to Fort Lauderdale.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Successful Investor Show. If you're enjoying this podcast, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and we hope you'll join us on the next episode of the Successful Investor Show.